Todd Peterson kicks off for Georgia, deep and high, and in the end zone, 5 or 6 yards, and Jason McGill will down it for Georgia Tech. The Dogs may have lost their left tackle for the day. Don't know yet about Bernard Williams. Loran, what do you got?
Well, Larry, I think they feel like Bernard will probably be able to play. They have it taped up, got some treatment going here, or did at the end of the third quarter and at the half, so I think he'll probably get back in there. Larry, the message in the half from the coaches was, you're ahead, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't play with the same intensity in the second half. And Coach Goff reminded his team, 2 years ago, Georgia went in the half 14-13 and then got dominated in the second half.
Tech in a one-back slot with David Hendricks, the only back, and 2 wideouts. And Sean Jones gives it to him, and they run him out to the left, and we run him out on the 22. A couple of yards. Dwayne Simmons over there, Ralph Thompson over there. Now, that's what they had just started doing near the end of the half, lining up with one back and swinging him wide left or right. Gain on the play was 2, 2nd and 8. Georgia leads 15-8. Now Lincoln and Wilkerson, more freshmen, are the backs. Tex in an eye, slot right. Dogs are again in a 5-man front. Sean Jones play action fake. Now he's rolling out here to run. Throws on a run. It is complete. Out of bounds on a 34. And Tech's bench right there is complaining bitterly. Ball caught inches out of bounds up here on the 34. Greg Lester, number 25, catching it, but his feet were out. And Tech becomes 3rd and 8 on the 22. 15-8. Georgia leading by 7. Looked like rain all day here, and it hasn't. Been very warm. Tech in a long huddle on their 22, and now they break out. Stiegel to the left, who just came back in the game. Greg Lester to the right. They split the backs. Georgia's in a 4-4. Sean Jones going to drop back and look and whip it low and incomplete on the 40. Sent it for Greg Lester. Ralph Thompson, the Dogs' free safety, had a little bit of a shot at that, but it was throwing too low. 4th down, and Tech will have to punt. They have had a decided edge in the kicking game all day today. Jason Bender will punt. Carswell, the safety man. Dogs will only rush 8. Tech's pointing around at the Georgia defensive line and pointing at various people to block. And the snap is good. The kick is brilliant. Long spiral. Carswell on the 37 by the far sideline, trapped him down on the 40. Could not move. Georgia's ball on their own 40. Flag down not far from there. Somebody spotted something. Now let's see if we're going to have an illegal block or what are we going to have. Officials talking. Georgia may be penalized. Carswell caught a high, beautiful spiral on the 37 over near one sideline. Took only three steps, and now here's a long penalty on Georgia. 15 yards. Somebody clipped all the way back to the 25. And the Dogs become first down way down there instead of on the 40. Bad field position. Bernard Williams is back in the field. That big, tall, and I mean tall, lanky tackle. Slot left. Tech's in a 5-man front. Sire going to hand to Hurst, who cuts at the tackle, and Hurst breaks it out to the 35 and down the sideline. He almost broke it off. Shannon Mitchell, an excellent block. Jarrell Williams, a linebacker, shoved him out, but he got about 15. Had a hole at right tackle, and then jumped sharply to the right to the sideline and got about, as it turns out, he got it to the 39. Got 14 yards. Bernard Williams has gone back out at tackle, and Daniel Rogers in again. First down on the 39. Texan a 5. Toss sweep to Hurst. Cuts back in. No room. Rustled down around the 42 by Marco Coleman. It should be 2nd down and 8. First out. Second down and 8. Georgia on their own 42. Hurst come out limping a little. I think he did.
Yes, he did.
Dogs lead 15-8. Hurst broke off 69-yard touchdown run very early in the game when it was 5-0 for Tech. Sire to throw. And intercepted by two different men. It's Tech's ball on the 42. Ken Swilling got it. Hit by Eric Fry, the linebacker, and then Swilling caught it next to him as Fry was dropping it. So Tech with a crucial interception on a ball dropped by one man and caught by another. And Tech is on the Georgia 41, and it's 15-8. And just like that, it turned. Dogs got 14 on the first play, then got 2, and then threw an interception. Both teams have thrown one now today. Tech, Sean Jones pitches it back out to Jimmy Lincoln, but the defense strings it out, and he only gets a yard. Hargett came up there. Dwayne Simmons was there. Casey Barnum was coming across. The play was a yard, 2nd and 9. Tech has made a 51-yarder today. Georgia's missed one. 15-8. Tech 3 wideouts, 2 running backs. Sean Jones runs a trap, and somebody broke it and knocked him down behind the line. Kurt Douglas got Jimmy Lincoln a couple of steps behind the line. They will spot it on about the 43. Loss of 3 yards. Pause 10 seconds here for station identification.
After a day with the Dogs, stop in at Waffle House for a T-bone steak and eggs or a grilled chicken sandwich with our famous hash brown. Waffle House, where breakfast, lunch, and dinner is served 24 hours every day.
AM 750, WSB, Atlanta.
Tech is 3rd and 12. 3 wideouts. Back split. Sean Jones back to throw. They're after him. He whips it low, incomplete on the 20. Jennifer Rodriguez. Greg Jackson had very strong pressure, and Casey Barnum was coming. And the punter, Jason Bender, will come in. Wait a minute. Do we have some kind of a penalty?
I believe if it is.
Wait a minute. Let's see. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they put it back.
You can't tell now. Television may have ordered something. Ball comes back to the 43, where it should be 4th and 12, and Tech's punter Jason Bender's in, as we mentioned. 15-8, Georgia leads. Tech in an interception and has not moved. Dogs are not rushing many people at all. And Bender kicks. Ooh, a good high pooch kick. Fair catch taken by Carswell on the 19. Tough to catch when they kick it up like that, and enemy shirts are all around you. Georgia's ball on their own 19. It'll be first down and timeout. Let's pause on the Georgia Bulldog Network. When time comes in, the Dogs will be on their own 19, still leading by 7. Loran, what do you got?
Gaston Hurst has got what they call turf toe, Larry, but it's not severe, so looks like he'll go back. They gave him a little treatment. He's standing up here on the sideline ready to go back. Probably hurt him a lot more tomorrow than he will today. Georgia needs him. He's got to continue playing.
Dogs on their 19, 81 yards away from it, leading 15-8 after an extremely bad start today. Had a punt blocked right away and got behind 2-0. And the other guy drove half the field and kicked the field goal and made it 5-0. Bernard Williams back at tackle. Tennessee is 24-0 on Vanderbilt at the half. Texas Tech 14-7 on Houston at the half. Florida 7-3 in the third on Florida State. 2 high, powerful scoring machines down there playing defense. Wonder if it's raining. Dogs come up to the ball on the 19. They're in an eye. Sire underneath. Tech's into 4-3. We're going to run a trap with Larry Ware. Sprint him out. He cuts back in and tries to twist, and 3 or 4 blue shirts hit him on the 22. Didn't get much. Kevin Battle, the junior nose guard, got him. Gain was 3. Second down and 7. Dogs lead 15-8. Georgia up to the ball. Ellis and Sadler are the guards. Swan the center. DePoor and Roberts are gone. Handoff to Ware at the tackle, pushing, and then they drive him back. Penetrated to the 26, going at right tackle. And Battle was slowing it down, and so was Marlon Williams, the linebacker. It's going to be third down now and 3.5. And Bernard Williams can't stay in again. He has to go out, and Daniel Rogers again comes back in. Georgia on their own 26. Got to get to the 29.5 for a first down. And movement on the right side of the line. The dog tight end may have caused it, but let's see. Georgia needed 3.5 long yards, almost 4, and we had movement. 10:43 to go in the third quarter. Georgia retreating. Penalty on the Dogs to the 21. That'll probably change the play. And they run Hastings back in. Kevin Maxwell is in. Dogs third down, about 9 or 8.5 on the 21. Zaire pitches the ball to Larry Ware, and Ware is just going to be eaten alive on the 19 and fumbled later. Tech is jumping up and down, but the whistle had blown. 3 or 4 men, they were twisting around. Now are they going to rule? Well, the official never said anything. They may rule Tech's ball. Official still, yes, now he points. It's Georgia Tech's ball. Larry Ware was trying to twist and squirm and get loose, and in the process of losing 2 yards, he lost the football. Dogs have given it up again, and this time they gave it up down close. Try to run a little short draw or trap in at right guard. Tech swarmed the play and caused the fumble. Officials acted very much like they had blown it dead. Tech there, going to run a sweep to Michael Smith. He cuts back in and drives to the 16. He got about 4 or so.
Michael Smith, the ball carrier.
Tech knocks on the door, getting ready to try and tie it up. It's 15-8. That was a crucial fumble. Tom Wallace on the stop for Georgia. Junior college transfer tackle. John Allen, the linebacker. Ball on the 17. Tech will become second down and about 7.5. Have to go to the 9.5 for a first down. They're in an I with 2 wideouts. Georgia's in a 5. We move a man with the motion. Sean Jones handing to Michael Smith to the left. And we ride him out. Carlo Butler, a sophomore outside linebacker from Valdosta, wouldn't let him get to the corner. Just rode him out of bounds, strung him out and rode him out. Play may have lost a yard. Let's see. They haven't spotted it yet. The officials are standing on the sideline, 3 of them with the ball talking. They still haven't brought it out. They bring it out to the 18, give them a 1-yard loss, and it'll be third down. 15-8, Georgia leading. Big third down here. 3rd and 9 for Tech. They're in an I. 2 wideouts, 1 short and 1 wide. Sean Jones hollering at them. He might be audibilizing. Now he shifts the backs. He's going to take it and throw over to the left, and it is complete and out of bounds around the 11. Caught a low ball on the knees. Jimmy Lincoln did the tailback on a quick straighten up and throw. Allen, the linebacker, ran him out. Got about 7. It's going to be 4th down, 1.5 yards. And Tech probably going to gamble and go for it. They need 1.5 yards. We'll have time call first, and they'll talk about it. Timeout, 15-8 Georgia. This is the Georgia Bulldog Network.
Agree, the Terrace Garden in Buckhead is the place to stay in Atlanta. Across from Lenox Square Mall, the Terrace Garden is ideal for shopping and entertainment. Call for the What a Weekend package at 1-800-241 1-800-241-8260. 1-800-241-8260.
Ball on the 11. Fourth down, a yard and a half for Tech, and they're 7 points down. 9:28 to go in the third quarter. Dogs coughed it up. Tech now has Wilkerson back in at the full. Haven't checked the running back yet. This particular television network working this game today has the longest timeouts in America. People were talking about it at the halftime. When they mean timeout, they mean timeout. Ball on the 11. And Tech is still huddling back there, 9:28. But it's a loose huddle, both teams, as the momentum stops dead cold again. 15-8. Tech has a football just across the 11, and they have to go to about an inch or two outside of the 9. Barely a yard and a half. Now, Tech's got Lincoln and Wilkerson, the backs, in an eye with a slot to the right. Fourth down. They flop a man, Covington over, and unbalance the line to the right. Sean Jones going to take it and sprint out here to the right, running, and he throws a short pass, and it is caught and ruled complete on the 7. He caught it right off his shoe tops. Jimmy Lincoln, the running back, as they sprinted right through a little 4-yarder in the flat, and it's first down and goal to go. Ball on the 7, goal to go. He threw that low. 2 linemen were chasing him across the field, though he had blockers in front of him. Tech trying to tie it up right here. 3 wideouts. They're in an eye. Sean Jones underneath, third quarter. Going to hand it off to Lincoln, driving to the 4.5 at left tackle. Jimmy Lincoln got 2.5 yards. Kurt Douglas hit him, and it'll be second down and 4.5. 8:52 and the clock running. Dogs coughed it up around their 21. It may have cost them the lead. We'll find out. 1 back, David Hendricks. 2 wideouts. Second down on the 4.5. Sean Jones going to take it and run an option, and then turn and cut in and score. He cut in and got his body across the goal line, and it's 15-14. He had a man trailing for the pitch, but turned and cut back in, and it's a 1-point game. Now, will Tech go for 2 to take the lead? Georgia went for 2 earlier and made it. Now the kicker has come on. 8:22 to go. Tech has really converted the big turnover. Scott Sisson to try it. Tech is trailing 15-14. Bill Weaver, the punter, the part-time punter, they alternate their punters, is the holder on the 10. The kick is up, the kick is good, and we're all tied up 15-15 near the middle of the third quarter. Timeout, pause here on the Georgia Bulldog Network. Tech kicks off, Alan Waters kicking. And the ball is going to be taken on the 12-yard line by Arthur Marshall, going to the far right sideline, the 30-35, out of bounds.
Returning that kick, number 12.
We opened up a little hole for him over on the right side, and on a short kick that had a little hook to it, he caught it on the hash marks and then went to his right. Didn't step out and got all the way to the 39. Excellent field position, 15-15 tie. Tech led early, 5-0, and the Dogs led 7-5. Hastings and Maxwell slotted to the left. Handoff going to Max Strong at left tackle, and Strong pushing about 3 maybe. Kevin Battle, a nose guard. Jarrell Williams, a linebacker, stopped him. But the play got about 4 across the 43. Second down and 6. 15-15 tie. Ball game had a strange start. I wonder what kind of a finish it's going to have. Zaire Zire has not had a real hot hand yet. You know, usually in a ball game, all of a sudden he really threads the needle 4 or 5 in a row. Second down. Toss sweep to Hurst. Got in trouble. Going to get hit behind the line back in the 40. They were breaking down the sweep, so he tried to go back. And Kimsey, a big tackle, was the guy that got him on the 41. A loss of 2. All of a sudden, Georgia cannot move the ball at all. And the Dogs are 3rd and 8 on the 41. 15-15 tie. Unable to move. And they're in the other guy's backyard. Tech acts like they're going to blitz. The shotgun to Zire. He looks complete on the 50. A diving catch and a great reaching catch by Andre Hastings for a first down, 8 or 9 yards. Peebles at corner. Williams, a linebacker, hit him. Oh, he reached and caught it, and then they broke him in half. First down on the 50. Zire looks over at the sideline. 15-15 tie. Georgia's on the 50. Maxwell and Hastings wide to the right. Tech's in a 5-man front, and they got a safety man crawling up on the corner. Zire gives to the fullback. Strong drives, pushing for 5.5 straight ahead. Had a pretty good push in there with Sadler and Tellis and Swan. Right in the middle. Battle hanging on to him from behind. The ball went 6 yards to Tech's 44. Second down. Georgia moving for the first time here in the third quarter. Two wideouts, split to one side or the other. Zire going to fake it to Hurst. Step back and try to throw a long bomb to Hastings. It's out of bounds. Flag down. What do we got? Did they bump Hastings out on the 11? Did Clay bump him out? That might be a rule. Hastings went out. The ball went out. Let's see what we got. No, it's going to be a penalty on Georgia, they say. So what do we got? Third quarter has seen nothing but tough luck for the Dogs. Dogs have come all the way back. They were 2nd and 4. And now let's get the call. Georgia's going to be penalized. Did Hastings push the defensive back?
That was his call.
15 yards all the way back to the 41. And that once again changes the ball game and points it in another direction. Loran?
Larry, the ball was out of bounds, and Andre apparently there just reflexed. He saw the play was not going to work for anything, and he just put his hands on the guy around his waist, as a matter of fact, and you can't do that, so they called offensive pass interference.
Third down, offensive pass interference. 3rd and long now on the 41. Zire whips it across to Maxwell, complete for about 5 yards. Curly Day hit him, and so did Terrell Williams, a senior linebacker. Gained about 6 to the 47. They'll have to punt. And this whole stadium comes up and cheers for the Tech defense. So Saucy will have to punt. 4th down. The snap is good. The kick is good. Saucy got a good kick. Willie Clay lets it go. It hit on the 5 and went in the end zone. So Tech will bring it out on the 20. Let's take time out here. 15-15 tie with 5 minutes in the third quarter. This is the Georgia Bulldog Network.
WSB.
5 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the third quarter. Tech and Georgia tie 15-15. The turnover by the Dogs tied it up here in the third quarter as Tech cashed it in. Let's pause 10 seconds now for station identification.
Laugh all the way home with Gary McGee and his merry band of loonies. Afternoons on AM 750 WSB, Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station.
Please see the stand manager in your 10. In the middle of the third quarter, it's Florida 14, Florida State 3.
Now they tell us Florida's 14-3 in the third on Florida State. A little bit of a surprise. Tennessee was 24-0 on Vandy. I think they're in the third now. The Vols had all year to be warned about the eye bone, wishbone, and whatever that thing is. We are in the middle of another one of those 1-hour timeouts. Loran, what do you got?
Well, Larry, if you look at the defensive chart, you'll see that Tech had the ball at Georgia's 41 and Georgia's 19 there. And they only came out of it with 7 points. The Georgia defense has played well. There's been a couple of offensive mistakes, but now defense needs to really rise to the occasion.
Second, a one-back set. He fakes a pitch to Hendricks. Sean Jones rolls left and throws low, incomplete, out on the 30. Jennifer Lester. Faked the toss sweep to the one-back. Instead, he whipped it out.
And with that incomplete pass, Jones and Zier have almost identical numbers. Eric Zier 10 for 20 passing it, 81 yards. Jones is 10 for 20 with 84 yards.
It's a surprise. You would have thought one or the other would be really having a hot hand. That goes to an eye with 3 wideouts. 15-15 tie in the third quarter. Plenty of time left in the third. Georgia's in a 4-3. Sean Jones going to run an option along the line. Pitch it to the back, Michael Smith. The defense strings him out. Dwayne Simmons primarily. The corner. Wynn was coming up, and Hargett was coming up. Tom Wallace. Loran, what do you got?
Larry, I don't know what the report will be next week when they grade the tapes, but Dwayne Simmons looks like he's playing an excellent ball game. He really can close. He's a linebacker who will get in there, get set to make the play, and once the offense commits, he really closes hard. He's done that several times today. Looks like he's really playing heads-up football, playing an outstanding game on defense.
Game is 1.5 yards. Third down, 8.5 for Tech. They run a man in motion, and Sean Jones going to fake. Fake again, throw it out in the right flat, complete, but we tackle the receiver and drive him back, and he fumbled the ball. And everybody dives in there, but had the whistle blown. He threw to Anthony Rice, a big, giant tight end. Mike Jones cracked him, and then Hargett came up over in the flat.
Number 9, Mike Jones.
Greg Jackson, the linebacker, had good pressure. And that little pass gained 0.5 yard to the 22. It's 4th down, and Jason Bender, a freshman, will be kicking. Bender to punt. Not real long. Taken by Carswell on the 44. Trying to find room. One man missed him. 49, 50, 45, 40. Trying to dance around and then knock him down, but he got all the way to the Tech 39 with an excellent return. Chuck Carswell from Walton High. Fine return, though the kick was end over end. It wasn't a great spiral like their kickers have given them before. So the Dogs will try to use a short punt and a very good return by Carswell. 15-15 tie. Georgia on the Tech 39, just outside of the 39, a half a foot or so. High slot. Tech playing 5-man lines. They toss it to Hurst. No room to run. They knock him out. No gain on the 39. Try to go to the short side. Blocking's not there anymore. Curly Day, the strong safety, got him. It'll be 2nd and 10. Dogs moved it on the ground extremely well in the first half, but not in the second. Tech has shut that down. Slot to the right. There's an eye. Tech's up in a 5 again. Hand off to Hurst, cutting into the hole. One man grabbed him. He broke loose to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15. They shove him out on the 10. He kept pulling his legs away. Somebody blitzed in the corner, had him a foot behind the line. He pulled away, and then he pulled away again 5 yards later. Ken Swilling shoved him out, but Hurst on individual effort went from the 39 to the 9.5. He kept pulling a leg away. 30 giant yards. Early today, he went 69 and scored. Dogs are goal to go. 15-15 tie. They need better than 9 yards. Eye slot. Tech playing that 5-man line. Zier turned around, spoke to the backs, give it to Hurst. No room to run. They just eat him up. No gain. Tried to run a trap in there, couldn't move. Battle the nose guards, swelling the safety, got him. Second down. They lost a couple of feet. It's on the 10.
Garrison Hurst numbers 16 carries, 174 yards today.
The last run, they really should have had him because a man came off the corner and grabbed his leg. Second down, 10 for a touchdown. 15-15 tie. Tech has scored on a safety and a 51-yard field goal. Georgia's gone for 2 and made it. They've missed a 51-yard field goal. Shire coming out to the right, stops, and they're going to sack him way back on the 18. They covered the receivers. Eric Fry, a junior linebacker, got him. So the Dogs got down close on Hurst's great run, but they've gone back about 8 yards. Back to the 17 now. It's third down and 17 for a touchdown. It has become very, very hard to move the ball and score since Georgia took a 15-8 lead in the middle of the second quarter. They split the backs, slot them to the left, Tech's in a 4-3. Georgia goes shotgun off the 17. Snap to Zaire. Looking. Now he's going to throw incomplete because he had pressure coming on him. Ball thrown. Marco Coleman hit him a second later coming off the corner, and the ball wasn't thrown well. Look at the sun trying to come out here. Fourth down on the 17. They'll have to go for a field goal. Tech fans are hollering to block that kick. Minute and 50 in the third quarter. 15-15 tie. They set it down, and the kick is up there, and it is good. Cannon Parkman puts it in, and the Dogs take the lead back just barely, 18-15. Timeout. This is the Georgia Bulldog Network. Georgia 18, Georgia Tech 15, late in the third quarter. Walker and Johnson deep for Tech. Todd Peterson kicks it high. A yard in the end zone. Jason McGill of Tech going to run it out right up the middle to the 25 or 6 or 7. Sophomore from Miami. Pledger and Muschamp are the kick covering team. Bill Muschamp, Charlie Pledger. I think that's Will Muschamp. All right, Tech's ball on their own 27. It's 18-15 Georgia. Dogs took a short punt and a good punt return and got down goal to go. Had to settle for a field goal. Tech flops the tight end over. They are in an I. Sean Jones rides along the line, and he pitches it out to Jimmy Lincoln coming to the corner, and he got about 5 yards to the 32. Target, and Mike Jones got it. Secondary had to come up. 2nd and 5. I say the same thing I said during the Clemson game. Tech should be running option all day long. Florida 14, FSU 3 at the end of the third. Tennessee 31, Vanderbilt nothing end of the third on the Dixie Crystal Sugar scoreboard. Tech 2nd and 5 on the 32. Hand off to Lincoln. He bounces out to the left for 5, 6, 7 yards and a first down. Cars will let us shove him out on the 40. Got 8 yards. And Tech's moving. They are attacking the flanks, which they started doing late in the second quarter. Georgia leads 18-15. The Dogs have turned it over in this third quarter. It cost them the lead. Now they got the lead back. Tech up to the line. Billy Chubb's a senior center from Cartersville. 2 backs and 2 wideouts. One of the wideouts is in motion. Sean Jones off the 40. Hands to Lincoln, swinging left with the blocker. Going to get 5 or 10 maybe to the 50 and out of bounds. Dwayne Simmons had to get him. They are very much concerned with Sean Jones. He'll do a fake and then roll off to the right. Meanwhile, the play is swept left, and they got 10.5. First down, Georgia's 49.5. They're attacking the ends, and they're moving. Tech has gone from their 27 to the Georgia 49.5. Clock stopped with 55 seconds in the third quarter. Slot right with an eye. Slot man in motion back across. Sean Jones run the option, pitch it to Lincoln, and Carswell comes up and hits him behind the line. The kid from Marietta hit Jimmy Lincoln from behind, coming up off the corner. Lincoln took a delayed pitch from Sean Jones, and there was a loss. They're going to spot it on the Tech side of the 50 on the 48. The loss is 2.5. 18-15 Georgia. We said it a lot in the first half. It was a strange game, and you don't want to take your eye off this one. Very late in the third quarter now. One back set. They shifted another back to 4 wideouts. Sean Jones going to hand to that one back and drive him straight ahead, try to catch him unaware, and could only get 2 or 3 yards. Rodney Wilkerson. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. Georgia leads 18-15. Timeout on the Georgia Bulldog Network.
We'll be selecting the biggest play of the day as the Budweiser play of the game. There have been many this afternoon. Listen for it during the wrap-up of today's game between Georgia Tech and Georgia. Right now, the fourth quarter is here. Georgia Tech trailing Georgia 18-15. And, Kim, you get the feeling that the last ball club with the pigskin is going to win this ball game.
I think it's going to go right down the wire, just what everyone figured. The odds makers had Tech a 4.5-point pick. Everyone thought it would be a very, very close game, and nobody's been disappointed here. Lead changed 6 times in this contest, and Georgia currently on top 18-15. Tech has a ball at its 49-yard line with third down and 12 yards to go from there. In the third quarter, Tennessee all over Vanderbilt. It's Tennessee 31, Vandy nothing.
So Georgia Tech again at 7-4. Georgia at 7-3. Trying to get to the 8-win mark before they go to their respective bowl games. Georgia Tech and Stanford in the Aloha Bowl on Christmas Day at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii, and in Shreveport, Louisiana on December 29, Georgia and Arkansas. A big possession play for the Yellow Jackets, third and long, third and a dozen yards from their own 49 as we open the fourth quarter. Here is Sean Jones dropping back to pass. Gets plenty of room. Here comes the rush, and Sean Jones gets away. Going to roll to the 50, down to the 47-yard line, going to be short of the first down marker. Had no receivers open and got away from the sackmasters of Georgia, able to run for a good 6 yards, about 8 yards, but coming up short, fourth down and 4.
Well, he did a marvelous job of getting rid of pressure. Looked like he was going to get sacked back there around his own 40, but he shook loose. Tech's receivers came upfield trying to work free. Jones had nobody open, elected to run it, but came up way short of the first down.
Well, Jason Bender sets up at his own 43. Chuck Carswell, the single safety for the Bulldogs, near side at his own 10-yard line. Here's the snap. Jason Bender with the foot into it, and the punt goes high and deep all the way into the end zone. Let's see if he found it. Let's see if he got the sideline.
Well, the official called it. Looked like it came out down there, but Tech wanted to call the official who was in the end zone back towards the center of the field. Wasn't on the sideline. Didn't check the angle. The Tech fans are a little upset, the Tech players, but nevertheless, they're going to rule touchback.
That'll be first and 10 Georgia Bulldogs on their own 20-yard line, going left to right here in the fourth quarter at Bobby Dodd Stadium, defending the north goal and moving towards the south. Russell DeFore over the ball. Hurst and Max Strong split in the backfield behind freshman QB Eric Zier. Zier on the call of the signal, going to hand this one off to Max Strong. He goes right side for a couple of yards. He gets whacked by Tom Johnson and Eric Fry. Make it second down and 7 for the Bulldogs on the Georgia 23. Plenty of time as we just open up the fourth quarter here at historic Grant Field. The annual big one, Georgia Tech and Georgia. It's been a big one so far. Zier looks to the sidelines and now breaks the huddle. Maxwell is split to the far side of the field. The tight end is Shannon Mitchell. Andre Hastings, the flanker on the far side. Back to pass is Eric Zier. Throws it down the sideline for Maxwell, and it is incomplete. Knocked away by big play Willie Clay at about the 35-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. Good pressure again and a good hit by Marco Coleman.
And Al, great coverage by the senior cornerback, the All-ACC performer, Willie Clay. Had inside position, running sideline with Maxwell, and almost came up with the interception. But Willie Clay just played that beautifully.
3rd and 6, possession play for the Bulldogs on their own 24-yard line. The ball on the near hash mark along the Georgia Tech sideline. They go to an I formation. Down man is Max Strong. In the tail of the I, the scat back Garrison Hurst. Here's Eric Sire. Going to give it off to Hurst. He jitterbugs across the 25 where he's stacked up for just a couple of yards by Brian Baxter and Eric Fry. It'll force the Bulldogs into a punting situation.
The Tech just wrapped Hurst up then. That was the draw play that they've run so well today. But Jarrell Williams was blitzing that time, got penetration, and they just knocked Hurst off his pins after he picked up a yard. So Tech's defense playing tough now. Georgia's going to kick it.
Willie Clay to the near side, single safety at his own 35. Here's the punt by Scott Saucy, and it's a good one. It goes high. Good hang time for Willie Clay. Hauls it in midfield at the 32. Comes to his left, goes right. He gets knocked down by the Bulldogs. That's a 43-yard punt for Stuart Saucy, and there's a timeout on the field. On the Atlanta Journal-Constitution College Football Scoreboard, it's Georgia 18, Georgia Tech 15. Long way to go in this one. 13-17 remaining. We'll be back to Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta after this. Long way to go. 13-17 remaining before the end of regulation here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. It's been a great one on what's turned out to be a gorgeous last day of November 1991. Georgia 18, Georgia Tech 15. And, Kim, not a crucial possession for the Yellow Jackets, but they have to regain that offensive momentum here.
Well, I think they do, and as Georgia has done most of the day, they have stymied Tech. Tech did get that touchdown, their only touchdown of the day, after that Larry Ware fumble at the Georgia 19-yard line, and a few plays later, Sean Jones went over in the option keeper from 4 yards out to tie it up. But the problem is that Tech, while they've moved the ball, they've not been able to really get it into the end zone other than that turnover that they got from Georgia. And I think the key thing is the running game is bogged down, and Jones has been off a little bit on the throwing game as well. Georgia playing a lot of two-deep zone, 5 men underneath on coverage, and that's taking the short throws away. And Tech's not been able to get people open over the middle. And Jones looks like he's had some problem with his timing today, throwing the ball a little short. Into the third, Bob. Florida 14, FSU 3 in Gainesville.
Jimmy Lincoln and David Hendricks split in the pro set behind quarterback Sean Jones. 1st and 10 from the Yellow Jacket, 32-yard line. In motion comes Emmett Merchant. Here's the fake by Sean Jones, or the handoff. Comes inside to Jimmy Lincoln, turns up, and gets down to the 40-yard line of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. On the handoff from Sean Jones, Jimmy Lincoln came to the left corner and moved inside to the middle of the field for a good gain.
Well, that was a little counter play that time. The counter bootleg actually is a play that Tech's been running where they faked that ball to Lincoln and then Jones rolls out. That time he gave it to Lincoln. They got good blocking and Lincoln almost broke it up the middle of the field.
2nd down and 3 from the 40-yard line of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Here's Sean Jones in the option. Pitches it to Jimmy Lincoln. Finds a hole. 50, 45. Knocked down at the 44-yard line. 1st down, Georgia Tech. Chuck Carswell coming up on the stop, and Jimmy Lincoln, not exactly the speediest guy out there, but showing a modicum of speed in the middle of the field for the Yellow Jackets and picking up some big yards.
Well, that was the option play, and they had good blocking. They ran it to the wide side. They've been running the option play to the short side, and Georgia's been able to bottle it up over there on the sideline. That time, taking it to the wide side. Plenty of room for Lincoln to pick and choose. Saw a huge seam inside. Almost broke that one as well.
Rodriguez and Stegall to the near side. Now Stegall goes to the far side of the field in motion. I formation behind Sean Jones on the fake. He rolls to his left, has the ball knocked down by the Georgia Bulldogs at the line of scrimmage, Mitch Davis.
Boy, had Hendricks' fullback open in the flat, and he was just trying to get the ball out there. Hendricks had a man coming up in coverage, but he would have gotten a pretty good bit of yardage out of it had he been able to get the reception from Jones, but it was Mitch Davis, Georgia's outside backer, knocked it away incomplete.
Anthony Rice replaces Tom Covington, a tight end for the Yellow Jackets. Emmett Merchant back at split end for Georgia Tech, along with Bobby Rodriguez to the near side of the field. I formation behind quarterback Sean Jones, Lincoln, and Hendricks. In motion goes Merchant. It is Sean Jones on on the option, pitches it to Jimmy Lincoln, turns the corner at the 40 down to the 39. Bobbled a little bit by Lincoln, but he held on to it and picked up a few more yards for the Jackets. Greg Jackson and Mike Jones on the stop for the Bulldogs make it 3rd and 5.
Dangerous exchange that time. Jones pitched it to Lincoln, and he bobbled the ball momentarily, but regained it. Got 4 yards out of it. The ball's up just inside the 40-yard line. Key play in the ball game for Tech and Georgia. Clock running. 11:36 to go in this ball game. Georgia's on top of Tech, 18-15.
Possession play, 3rd and 5 from the hash mark, far side of the field, inside the 40 for the Yellow Jackets. They trail by 3. Here is Sean Jones on the quarterback keeper, trying to turn the corner, gets dragged down at the 38-yard line, shy of the first down stick. Gets pulled down by the senior John Allen. That'll force a 4th down for the Yellow Jackets. Here comes Jason Bender out in a punting situation for Georgia Tech. 11 minutes and the clock rolling here in the final period at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Tech trailing Georgia by 3. Chuck Carswell, the senior, single safety again at his own 10-yard line. And waiting on the snap to Jason Bender. Plenty of time, no rush. Gets his foot into it and angles it towards the corner. And the ball this time does grab the corner of the sideline. And let's see where they mark it. The official keeps moving up the sideline. He's going to mark it at the 11-yard line where Georgia will take over 1st and 10.
Bob, this time they had an official on the sideline for the kick. The last previous kick that Bender controversially kicked into the end zone, as the official ruled it, Tech thought it went out of bounds, was back into the end zone, into the field of play, didn't have the angle.
27-yard punt return. Punt, rather, for Jason Bender. Again, he tried to coffin corner it. Georgia Tech defense coming up with 2 turnovers here in the 3rd quarter, looking for either a pick or a fumble recovery inside Georgia territory to get them off and running. 6 different lead changes this afternoon between the state rivals. 2nd down and 7. Ball on the near hash mark on the 14-yard line. Eric Zier, the quarterback from Marietta, the freshman, barks the signal, pitches at Hurst at the 10-yard line, tries to turn the corner. He's wrapped up and he's tackled by Marco Coleman for a loss.
Boy, there's a guy that makes a play. One-on-one, Marco Coleman with Garrison Hurst, and Hurst is pulled away from so many Tech tacklers today, it seems like. But that time, the All-American Marco Coleman just refused to let him get by and threw him down at the 12 for a loss of 2.
That is Marco's 3rd tackle behind the line of scrimmage for a loss today. 9:30, the clock keeps moving here at Bobby Dodd. Everyone's on their feet. Georgia and Georgia Tech fans alike. 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 possession play. Split backfield behind Zaire. Here comes the rush. Zier gets the blocking, rolls to his right. He throws down the sideline over the head of the receiver, Arthur Marshall. The Bulldogs will have to punt once again. Great defense by Curly Day.
Good coverage by Day, as you called it, Bob. Marshall hooked up over there in front of the Tech bench about the 35, 36-yard line, and Zier rolling to his right. Rifled the ball upfield, but it was real high. No chance for a completion. Saucy's going to kick it from his end zone.
He's about 4 yards deep in the end zone. Here is the punt. Gets his foot in it. It's a wobbler coming down, bouncing. Gets a Georgia Tech bounce and starts rolling back towards the 40 and touched at the 41-yard line. Great field position for the Jackets. 1st down and 10 with 9 minutes and 6 seconds left to go. A 29-yard punt by Scott Saucy. He came in the second half averaging 29 and a half by halftime.
Well, this is key for Tech here because they trail 18-15. 9:06 to go in the ball game. Tech's got 2 timeouts. Georgia has 3. And Tech, if nothing else here, Bob, they've got to get it in Scott Sisson field goal range, which means they've got to get it somewhere down around that 30-yard line.
Bobby Rodriguez to the near side along with the flanker Greg Lester. And here is Sean Jones trying to keep the ball himself. Gets tackled way behind the line of scrimmage. Back to the Georgia Tech, the Georgia 42-yard line for a big loss.
That was a big play there, a busted play. Jones turned one way, and his backs went the other way. Jones was standing there by himself, looking down at the Georgia defense. Mike Mooney now limps off, so they'll replace Big Mike Mooney here with Chris Brooks. Hopefully Mooney can go again. He's been playing with that banged-up knee all season, but Jones again went one way, his back's the other. He got tackled for the loss.
Second down, 15 from the Georgia 46-yard line. Georgia Tech trailing by 3. Here's Sean Jones, back to pass, looking over the middle, and almost complete. Jason McGill was knocked down from behind, dropped the pass, make it third down and 15.
Well, McGill looked like he was open, but excellent coverage that time by Georgia. As the ball got there, it was batted away right at the last second. So Jones having a hard time finding seams and finding openings in that Georgia pass defense. And I think the surprising thing here has been the play of Georgia's defense in this ball game.
It's going to take a big play here to get Georgia Tech in range of Scott Sisson, or at least holding on to the football. 8:18 left to go. They trail by 3. Third down, 15 to go. Lone setback is Jimmy Lincoln behind quarterback Sean Jones. Jones on the signal. Goes back, takes a drop of about 5. Throws it down towards the sideline, looking for Bobby Rodriguez way over his head. It's going to be fourth down and 15. Another punting situation for Jason Bender.
Tech's had the chances, Bob. They've had the ball down on Georgia's end of the field. A couple of possessions here late. The previous possession got the ball as far down as a 38 before they had to punt. Had excellent field position at Georgia 41-yard line, but the first play was a key. Jones lost 5 on a busted play, threw 2 incompletes, and Bender's going to punt it. Tech needs a man out on the field. The penalty won't hurt them here. They're going. I hate to see them waste a timeout, but they do.
Well, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets calling a timeout. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the WCNN Georgia Tech Football Network.
Waffle House, where good food is served cooked to order, hot off the grill, and the waitress knows you by name. Waffle House, America's place to eat, America's place to work. WCNN North Atlanta.
Georgia with an 18-15 lead over the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, 8-11. And some miscommunication causing the Yellow Jackets to waste a timeout now with only 1 left, while Georgia has all 3 here in the second half.
Well, that was a real crucial timeout for Tech, because in a close ball game, obviously, you want to preserve those as much as you can to use them judiciously down at the end. Tech had a man that was not out on the field on the punt, and they elected to take the timeout. Had they taken the penalty, still wouldn't have affected them that much. Delay a game penalty. But as it is, Tech's now got only 1 timeout this second half.
4th and 15. The snap to Jason Bender, puts his foot into it. Good punt. It's going to chase Carswell. A fair catch at the 9-yard line, and he hauls it in over the shoulder a la Willie Mays, a 37-yard punt. And that's where Georgia will set up 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. On the Atlanta Journal College scoreboard, it's Georgia 18, Georgia Tech 15, 8:03 left to go in regulation. Back after this on the WCNN Georgia Tech Football Network. Georgia Tech and Georgia, and a big one here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Georgia trailing. Georgia Tech trailing Georgia 18-15. Sean Jones and a 4-yard keeper here in the second half tied the ball game up with the point after from Scott Sisson at 15-15. Cannon Parkman with a field goal from 31 yards out and an 18-15 advantage. And Georgia Tech's defense now being called upon to push the Bulldogs back here in the final 8:03.
Bob, in the fourth quarter, Florida still leads FSU 14-3. Also fourth quarter, it's a rout. Tennessee 45, Vandy nothing.
Attendance today, 46,053. A great crowd once again for Georgia Tech and Georgia, the state rivalry at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Of course, next year between the hedges at Sanford Stadium in Athens. This one isn't over yet. Going down to the wire, it's Georgia football, 1st and 10. The ball on the near side towards the Georgia Tech bench. It is quarterback Eric Zier with the pro set backfield, Larry Ware and Frank Harvey. Harvey, one of the touchdowns today, along with Andre Hastings for the Bulldogs. The handoff is to Frank Harvey. Tries to turn it at the 10. Gets up to the 12 before he's knocked down by Marlon Williams and Jarrell Williams near side. Make it 2nd down and 8 yards for Georgia. The clock is rolling. 7:50 left to go.
Jarrell Williams trying to grab onto that football and pull it loose that time as Harvey on the sweep to the short side wouldn't give it up, but Williams going for it. Kevin Battle limps off, having trouble with either that knee or ankle.
2nd down and 8 from the 12-yard line. Georgia Tech defense trying to hold. I formation, Harvey and Larry Ware. Here is Eric Zier. Takes a 3-drop on the pump fake. Throws it up the middle. It's up for grabs. Almost intercepted by Eric Fry. Tom Johnson getting the hand on it. And that one was up for grabs, and Eric Fry just came just that close to intercepting it in great territory for the Jackets.
Boy, inches, Bob. Game of inches. And there was a classic example as Tom Johnson broke free and chased Zire out of the pocket. He was scrambling, tried to throw it deep, and he hit his arm. The ball popped up, and Eric Fry just inches away from getting a big turnover for Tech.
Well, Tech's defense has done it here in the second half. 3rd and 8. Possession play for Georgia on their own 12-yard line. Quarterback Eric Zire split in the backfield. Takes a 2-step drop on the flat. It's a reception. Ken Swilling's there. Willie Clay is there. They knock Shannon Mitchell down a 5-yard gain, and another punting situation for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Good defense by Ken Swilling that time. Mitchell was open, but Swilling was in excellent position. As soon as he caught the ball in the left flat, he nailed him for a pickup of 3, and now Georgia's got a kick. Clay goes back.
Well, they're looking for the big play from Willie Clay. Here's senior Stuart Saucy. They have the signs up on the Coca-Cola box on the Wardlaw. Saucy puts the foot into it. It's a boot. It's a wobbler. Here's Clay at the 48, inside the Georgia line. Gets a block down to the 40-yard line. Georgia Tech, as Willie Clay is knocked down on the far side of the field at the 40, but he gets up, runs to the sideline, and puts Georgia Tech in another good position to score. Willie Clay imploring the 46,000 plus. A lot of Bulldogs in red and black, but mostly white and gold here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. And at the same time, Chuck Carswell doing the same for the Bulldog fans on the end zone behind Georgia's defense. Jimmy Lincoln, David Hendricks in the I formation. 1st and 10 for Georgia Tech at the 40-yard line. Handoff to Lincoln. Finds a hole. 5 yards up to the 35-yard line. 2nd and 5 for the Jackets.
Good tough running by Jimmy Lincoln, and the hole was on the right side that time. Russell Freeman, Scott Gold opened it up for him. Lincoln dove through there and picked up 5 yards. So Tech now getting close to Sisson field goal range. Tech trying to get down, obviously, and get the touchdown, but more importantly, they need a chance to get some points on the board. They'll take them any way they can get them here.
All on the far side, Rodriguez, McGill flanked to the near side of the field. Lone setback is David Hendricks. Jason McGill in motion to the far side. Here is Sean Jones handing off to David Hendricks. Bucks his way up the middle towards the first down stick. And he's going to be very close, if not a first down for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, good surge that time by Tech's offensive line, and David Hendricks that time took it on the stretch play and knifed it upfield north and south. They're going to bring the chains in. No, they're going to say first down Georgia Tech. No need to check it. 13th first down in the ball game for Tech.
5:43 left in regulation here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Here comes Jimmy Lincoln. Along with David Stegall, Jason McGill comes out. And Derek Gaucher, Tom Covington back in at tight end for Georgia Tech. Far side of the field on the far hash mark. Georgia Tech setting up. Greg Lester comes to the near side. Stegall on the short side of the field. I formation behind Sean Jones. Here comes Stegall in motion. Now he goes back to the far side of the field. A pitch play to Jimmy Lincoln. Turns the corner at the 30, looking for blocking, and rolls his way about to the 28-yard line, maybe inside the 28 for a couple of tough yards. Give him 3. 2nd down and 7 for the Jackets on the Bulldog 27-yard line.
Boy, tough defense by Georgia that time. They put Stegall in motion, flank to the right, moved him to the left, and then brought him back, trying to confuse Georgia's defensive coverage back there and get a rotation on their cornerback, get him soft on the corner, not up on a hard corner. But Georgia came up tight on Lincoln. He only picked up 2 yards.
David Hendricks and Michael Smith split in the backfield behind Sean Jones. 4:44 left to go. Here comes Merchant in motion to the near side. It's Sean Jones on the pitch to David Hendricks. Cuts it inside at the 20, at the 17-yard line. Fumble, Georgia Tech. The ball is loose.
Georgia got it. Georgia got it.
And the Georgia Bulldogs have picked up the football at the 22-yard line with 4:28 left to go.
Hendricks had what would have been the first down on the run. He made a great cutback on the play to the left side. As he was going upfield, the ball was knocked loose. Lester came diving in for it, had a chance to get on top of the ball. I think that was Merchant. Check it. To fall on it, it popped loose from him, and Georgia's come up with a big turnover here at the Georgia 22.
2 turnovers for each ball club this afternoon. A Sean Jones interception, and now a Hendricks fumble. Plenty of time left. Gang, 4:28 left to go. 1st and 10 on the 22-yard line of the Bulldogs. Split backfield with Strong and Hurst. Here is the freshman, very poised quarterback Eric Zire. Drops back on the flat. Finds Arthur Marshall. Incomplete. Willie Clay was there. 2nd down and 10.
the pressure by Tech's front people, Bob, has been relentless today. And Zaire's very aware of it. He's trying to throw the little quick throws and not sit back too much in the pocket because they really put some hits on him. My hat's off to Zaire. He's taken some shots today, and yet he's still got a lot of poise.
Well, with 4:24 on the clock, Kim, Georgia Tech, should they hold and maybe a punt push them back a little bit, it'll be up to them to score the winning touchdown and take some numbers off the clock. 2nd and 10 on the 22-yard line of the Dogs. I formation. The handoff, the first man through is Max Strong, and Strong bowls his way up across the 25 to the 27. He's stopped by linebacker Eric Fry and boundary corner Curly Day. So make it 3rd down and a long 4 yards to go. Another possession play for the Yellow Jackets against the Bulldogs.
Key play here, because if Tech wants to get good field position on the exchange, they've got to stop Georgia here. And more importantly, time is getting to be a factor, running at 3:57.
Marshall and Hastings flanked to the far side of the field in the shotgun. It's Eric Zaire. Finds Arthur Marshall at the 30, and he has the first down across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Hit him at the 25. He took one step inside the seam and found his way across the first down marker, stopped by Jarrell Williams and Brian Baxter. 3:37 left to go. First down, Georgia, and they have their all 3 timeouts.
And that is a first down in the 4th quarter for Georgia, but it's a very, very key one because Georgia will get to run more time off the clock. They've got the 3-point lead, 18-15. Clock's starting now at 3:37 to go here in the football game. Georgia's got a big first down at the Georgia 34-yard line.
Georgia Tech with only 1 timeout left here in the second half. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Marshall and Hastings again flanked to the far side of the field. The I formation behind Zaire is Strong and Garrison Hurst. On the signal, it's back man, it's Hurst. The scat back across the 35-yard line to the 36, stopped by Tech's Brian Baxter. Make it 2nd and 8, but the clock is rolling. 3:10. It's moving here in the 4th quarter.
Bob, look for Georgia to run 3 running plays here. They're going to try, obviously, to get the first down to run more clock, but they're obviously going to try to run off as much time here and then look for Saucy to punt the ball if they don't make the first and make Tech come the distance to try to beat them.
Well, it comes down to under 3 minutes here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. 2nd and 8. Ball on the Georgia 36 on the near side. Quarterback Eric Zaire again in the I formation. Strong and Hurst. Gives off to Hurst. Hurst finds a hole, and he gets pulled down by the ankles by Jarrell Williams. And that'll set up another 3rd down for the Georgia Bulldogs. The ball is placed at between the 38 and the 39. So make it 3rd down and a long 6 yards for Georgia. Once again, a key play for the Yellow Jacket defense. 2:15. The clock continues to roll. Willie Clay imploring the Yellow Jackets here on the west side to get with it. Here's Georgia's Eric Zaire. 3rd and 6. This could be the ball game here. Possession play. They're in the I formation. Zaire on the signal. Gonna keep it. He rolls to his right. Gonna pass it along the sideline. Complete. Let's see. Out of bounds. He was not in bounds. The receiver, Andre Hastings, for the Bulldogs, knocked out by Ken Swilling. 4th down and 6. 4 ticks under 2 minutes left here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. 1:56 and 1 timeout for the Yellow Jackets.
I'm amazed, Bob, that Georgia threw the ball in this situation. The clock was running at 1:56. They could have taken another 25, 30 seconds off the clock if they just ran the ball, even if they didn't get the first down. And then with a saucy punt, they would have left Tech probably with a few seconds above a minute to go about 60, 70 yards to win it.
Willie Clay's at his own 25 straight away, and here's Saucy. Gets his foot into it, and it's a good punt. Chasing Willie Clay down to the 20-yard line. A flag is down. Willie Clay at the 30, comes on the far side down to the 34. And Scott Saucy, and it's going to be roughing the kicker against Georgia Tech.
And that's going to be a first down. If it's inadvertent, it's a 5-yard call, and let's see what the official's going to do here. They're going to pick the flag up in the pocket, but I think it's going to give Georgia a first out.
Well, with 1:47 left to go, Georgia trying to snap a 17-game home winning streak for the Jackets, 4 in a row this year, and also a 2-game personal streak to Georgia Tech, and they're 1 minute and 47 seconds away. They have the football and 3 timeouts.
First down.
And the lead. First down for the Georgia Bulldogs. That That's a big one. They bring it all the way into Georgia Tech territory. Place it down at the 44-yard line.
That should be it, Bob, because Georgia Tech's got one timeout left. Georgia ought to be able to run it down just a few seconds left if they don't get a first down and kick it from there.
1st and 10 from the Georgia Tech 47. Just a matter of time for Eric Zier. Going to hand it off to Max Strong. Goes up the middle, inside the 40, straight away to the 38-yard line. He's stopped by outside linebacker Marlon Williams. Big pickup on first down for Georgia. Make it 2nd and 1. So Georgia getting ready to go to the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana, against Arkansas. The Yellow Jackets on the road to Hawaii on Christmas Day in the Aloha Bowl against Stanford. 2nd down and 2. Clock running, 1:12 left to go in this ball game. Eric Zier. Again, Max Strong goes up the middle. He is going to be stiffened up at the line of scrimmage by Ken Swilling and Jarrell Williams. That'll make it 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs, but the clock under a minute now continues to roll. Georgia Tech not stopping the clock. So Georgia Tech will fall to 7 and 5. Georgia ups its mark to 8 and 3. 3rd down and 1. Eric Zier has played an outstanding football game this afternoon, along with his running mate, Andre Hastings. Frank Harvey, 3rd and 1, gives off to Hastings. He almost missed behind the line of scrimmage, turns the 35, and is going to be knocked out of bounds by Ken Swilling.
But he got his first down, Bob, and with 26 seconds to go, that's a ball game. Georgia simply will, we got a flag back at the field. Let's check it. See what the flag is. Hurst got what would be the first down, but Georgia's going to be guilty of a holding call, 10-yard penalty.
Jarrell Williams has 13 tackles this afternoon. He's passed Lucius Sanford of Georgia Tech all time in that category. Not good consolation when he looks at the scoreboard, and Georgia Tech is down by 3, 18-15, with 26 seconds left to go. But the Yellow Jackets, pretty even ball game. They've had their chances, especially here in the second half, possession after possession with good field position. Again, big fumble by David Hendricks inside the Georgia 25 late in the ball game.
Late in the 4th quarter with 5:44 left, FSU scored. They trail Florida. It's Florida 14, FSU 9.
So right now it is academic for Georgia Tech, trying to beat Georgia for the 3rd year in a row. 26 seconds left to go. It's 3rd and 12. Ball on the Jacket 48, and Garrison Hurst is stacked up behind the line of scrimmage by Marlon Williams. Georgia Tech calls a timeout. And we'll break and be back with the final 21 seconds from Bobby Dodd Stadium after this on the WCNN Georgia Tech Football Network.
Texaco Technology Report. The problem: as cars get older, they may need higher octane to perform like they used to. The Texaco solution: develop a patented octane control technology in System 3 gasoline to help control increased octane appetite while cleaning an engine and to perform in every single octane grade. Texaco System 3 gasoline. It's that good.
AM 680. WCNN.
Here we go. Give me the ball. Over here. Go, go, go.
When you're burning up with thirst, when you're burning up inside, nothing cools you down like Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
Hey, now. Bam, bam, bam. Get in there. Fluid, mineral, energy. Gatorade for that kick down body thirst.
Stuart Saucy for Georgia will be in punt formation at his own 34-yard line. Willie Clay, the single safety for the Jackets, set up at the 10. 21 ticks left to go. It is Georgia leading Georgia Tech 18-15 in the state championship game here at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta. Again, Georgia Tech will play Stanford in the Aloha Bowl on Christmas Day in Honolulu. Georgia and Arkansas in the Independence Bowl December 29th in Shreveport. Andre Hastings, outstanding afternoon of rushing the football for Georgia, especially a 69-yard scamper in the first half for the Bulldogs. 21 seconds left to go. Still into a television timeout. Had a good crowd here this afternoon. 46,053 at Bobby Dodd Stadium, the final home game for the seniors for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Bob, Tech did not give up a first down to Georgia in the fourth quarter until this possession, and there were two key ones, one a roughing the kicker that let them run a lot of time off the clock.
Well, maybe there's one left in Willie Big Play Clay. Here comes the rush. Here comes the punt. It is a wobbler heading towards the sidelines, and it's going to be touched down by the Bulldogs' Mike Jones at the 29-yard line, and that's where the Yellow Jackets will get their last shot with no timeouts and 14 seconds left. So here comes Sean Jones in the last gasp effort for the Yellow Jackets.
Tough situation here, Bob. Georgia will go back with three men playing way off the ball and prevent defense. They'll let Tech throw it underneath because clock and time is a factor. Tech has no choice but to try to get it deep and just hope for a miracle.
Well, it's Merchant, McGill, Lester, and Rodriguez to the near side. Big Ben on the left. Back to pass is Sean Jones. He comes into the pocket, gets away from the rush. He is going to stop, fire it up the sidelines, heading deep, and it's up for grabs, and the ball comes incomplete at the 15-yard line. 3 seconds left to go. Jason McGill getting up slowly. Helped up by George Wynn of the Georgia Bulldogs. 18-15, Georgia Tech ahead of the Yellow Jackets with 3 seconds left and one last shot for the Jackets. Well, the consensus was this game was going to be tight. 6 different lead changes. Georgia on the top end, 18-15 here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. So again, here come the wideouts. McGill, Lester, and Rodriguez will be heading down the real estate on the near side. Sean Jones with 3 seconds left. No rush. Comes back to pass. And now at the 20-yard line rolls to his right. And now from the 25 just fires up a floater at the 30. The ball is going to be intercepted by the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's see. Yes, intercepted by Dwayne Simmons. And this one is over. The University of Georgia snaps a 2-game losing streak to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and ends the Jackets' 17-game home winning streak at Bobby Dodd Stadium. The final score on the Atlanta Journal-Constitution scoreboard, it is Georgia 18 and Georgia Tech 15. Kim King will have the wrap-up from Bobby Dodd after